Okay, well, back into today's video. Quite a lot going on today. We've got some big showers and storms heading in across England and Wales this afternoon, so have a look at that in a moment. Also got the update from Japan, as we do every Friday, JMA Friday, so have a look at that for the next month. Charts from Beijing Climate Centre as well for July, and then we'll have a look at weather for the next 8 to 10 days. So a big lot going on in today's video. I better get on with it quickly. Just save this video, add to my page. It's at gazweathervids.com. Hit play on the video ad. You'll be supporting gazweathervids.com. Thanks so much for doing that. So this is the latest radar picture from the Weather Outlook, and we can see that we've got some showery bursts of rain across the country at the moment. The first area stretching out from Northern Ireland over the Irish Sea towards Northern England. That one is sort of dying out, and I don't think the rain's going to get much further north than that. Behind it, though, that's where the heavy showers and heavy downpours are. We've got one cluster through the central part of the Midlands. I mean, lots of heavy downpours down towards the southwest, no doubt affecting Glastonbury, parts of West Country down in towards South Wales as well, and they're going to be pushing northwards and eastwards through the course of this afternoon, producing some really big downpours across parts of Wales, the Midlands and Lincolnshire. Have a look at the detail on that in a moment. Let's just see if there's any lightning in with that rain at the moment on a lightning detector device. Not much, one or two flashes of lightning off the coast of Wales, one or two down across the coast of Plymouth area, but basically not much yet, but things will develop through the course of this afternoon. So here we have the high resolution Euro 4 model from the website Weather Online. You can find a link to Weather Online on my linked page. This is the rainfall forecast for today. This was the forecast 6 o'clock in the morning. That's the first area of rain stretched out from Northern Ireland towards northern parts of England, with showers following along behind. Let's see how it develops things up towards midday. Well, that's when the really torrential storms start to break out across Wales and in towards the West Midlands, on in towards Lincolnshire as well. There's the heavy rain coming up from the southwest. The first area of rain across Northern Ireland and Northern England is fizzling out. By 6 o'clock in the evening, it shows the worst of the storms really through Wales, the Midlands, in towards Lincolnshire, parts of East Anglia. A couple of really torrential storms in these areas. Some big downpours, maybe up to 25 millimetres of rain or more. That's an inch or over an inch of rain, probably falling in a very short space of time, so no doubt there will be risk of flash flooding, localised flooding, as the roads become awash, and tricky driving conditions in these areas as well. Things are easing off in the south. In fact, they never really get going in the far southeast, so things may not be too bad. We're going to go back and have a look. There's the situation at midday down in the southeast, not too bad. There's the situation at 6 o'clock in the evening, again not too bad. One or two showers perhaps affecting the southeast, but I think the action is really further north from southwest England through Wales, the Midlands, Lincolnshire and East Anglia. Going on into tonight, the storms go on for quite a long time into the evening, but eventually these downpours will ease off and things should dry up a little bit as we go through the night, although perhaps keeping going in some places as sort of showery bursts of rain, probably not thundery and torrential, but certainly some showery bursts of rain could keep going through Wales and the Midlands tonight. And then we do it all over again tomorrow, and tomorrow's showers could be further south actually. The focus could be for more southern counties tomorrow, and again some of those showers will be big showers with risk of thunderstorms. Things should ease off towards Saturday evening, and then Sunday should be a slightly drier day. Having a look at the precipitation and convective potential forecast from the GFS model. Here we are at 6 o'clock in the evening today. Lots of heavy showers there. So we've already seen signal for England and Wales. Going through to the convective potential, we've got the green hinting at the yellow colours there, so there is the risk of lightning and thunder in with those showers. This is the forecast for tomorrow. Again, every bit as lively as today, and this has it still focused through Wales and Midlands and Lincolnshire, whereas the Euro 4 model wanted to focus it further south, but we're roughly in the same area that we are today actually with the GFS for tomorrow's showers. So I think basically we've got to be prepared across most of England and Wales for a risk of some downpours. Again, there's a risk of convective potential as we're in those green colours once again. And then for Sunday, things are still a bit showery, but they're less intense, less widespread than is the case today and tomorrow. So whilst there could still be some showers on Sunday, I think overall it will will be a drier day, things shouldn't be as severe as they could be today. And the convective potential is easing off as well, but certainly a couple of very lively days coming up today and tomorrow. Here's the update from Japan. This is the 500 millibar height anomaly forecast for the next month, so this will be taking us up to the 24th of July. These are broken down into weekly periods. First of all, to say the British Isles is just there, we're upside down. Nevertheless, it's fairly easy to see what's happening here. We've got a trough of low pressure below average height sitting around the UK for the coming week, 26th of June, to the 3rd of July. It's going to be unsettled with showers or spells of rain coming through as we go through to the second weekly period, which will be taking us from the week from the 3rd to the 10th of July. No real improvement actually through this week. The 500 millibar height anomaly, which is still below average in those blue colours there across the British Isles, so it's still unsettled with a trough of low pressure around the country, showers or longer spells of rain, and pretty cool temperatures going through the first week and into the second week of July. And then going through to the 3rd and 4th weeks, which will take us from the 10th to the 24th of July, we do get a bit of a change through the course of this week, these couple of weeks. And what's happening is that heights are going up nearer to normal. I think we're still basically bringing in a westerly flow across the Atlantic, so it's probably not going to be all that warm, to be honest, but I think the pressure is lifting up a bit for this week. Actually, that's quite an unusual and strange looking 500 millibar height anomaly prediction, but probably what's going on is that we're starting off the period, two-week period, with below average heights, and then we could be moving towards a ridge of high pressure above average heights later on in the period. So perhaps becoming drier and warmer is the signal as we go through into the middle of June. I wouldn't necessarily say it'll be a heat wave, because I think the flow is still generally Atlantic based, but certainly it could be a drier, warmer spell going through the middle of July. So quite what's going on there, I'm not really sure. It's an unusual sort of two-weekly forecast but I think overall an improving picture probably through the middle part of the coming month. The Beijing Climate Centre is sort of backing this up as well. These are the 500 millibar height anomaly. Height anomaly is broken down into 10-day periods. This is the latest update from Beijing. This is taking us from the 26th of June to the 5th of July. British Isles is just here, and we've got an area below average heights really around the country in those blue colours, so low pressure will be dominating showers, long spells of rain. But as we go through to this second 10-day period, which takes us from the 6th of July through to the 15th of July, the height anomalies are coming up nearer to normal then. So again, that could be implying that we're starting off sort of unsettled with that trough of low pressure around the country, and then pressure's lifting up, so it may be turning drier and warmer through that 10-day period. Probably doesn't last though, because we get through to the next 10-day period, the 16th to the 25th of July. The below average heights are coming back again. Not strongly, not as intensely as they are at the start of the month, but nevertheless I think we've basically got an Atlantic flow there with a pretty strong jet stream feeding in. Probably some sort of low pressure off the Atlantic. So after an improvement mid-month, later on in July, things do start to deteriorate. Certainly no sign in these charts of a repeat of last year when we had that very hot month last July. There's no sign of a repeat of that in these longer range charts for this July, so we'll have to see how that one goes. Of course, we've got to come up with a July forecast next month. Going to be next week. Sorry, that will be quite a tricky one to pin down. Have a very quick look at weather through next week. We're going to get a ridge of high pressure building in weekly through the middle of next week. This is for GFS, and that high pressure coming in, but it doesn't last long. Naturally, as we go through towards the end of next week, this area of low pressure around Iceland starts to sink down across the country, turning much more unsettled later on next week. Pretty cool air wrapped around that area of low pressure as well. So after a brief sort of couple of days of drier, warmer weather through the middle of next week, things look like they're going to deteriorate a lot through the last stages of next week, with low pressure really setting up over the country. It's in line with what we were just looking at though from those longer range charts. As we go through to day 10, which takes us to Monday the 7th of July, the low pressure begins to pull away to the east. We've got a bit of a ridge building to the west, very cool northerly winds coming down across the country. And then perhaps there's that improvement through towards the second week of the month as high pressure begins to start to ridge in off the Atlantic. But that's a long time away, 300 hours away, so I wouldn't necessarily take that too seriously. Certainly the first week or so of July is going to be very unsettled. Going through to the ECMWF, and there's that very brief transient sort of ridge across the country through the middle of next week, but the low pressure around Iceland is the one to keep an eye on, because that's going to move in through the latter stages of next week, turning it much more unsettled. Bands of rain, or showers anyway, coming down across the country around that area of low pressure, and that sort of low pressure sticks around then as we go through to the 6th and on into day 10, the 7th of July. Low pressure is well and truly a dominant. It will be pretty cool around that low pressure. The air is quite cool, and there'll be showers along with spells of rain. So that's going to be sort of what we're going to focus on for the weekend forecast. Tomorrow it'll be sort of a showery start to next week, then a drier, warmer spell through the middle of next week before it all goes downhill again towards the end of next week. That will be sort of the focus of the weekend forecast. And overall, it does look like a very, well, not a very unsettled start to July, but certainly an unsettled start to July. Probably going to take us through the first week of the month, at least up to perhaps the 10th. 8th, 9th, 10th, something like that. But it could settle down for a while before perhaps coming a little bit more unsettled again later on in the month. No sign of the intense heat wave that we had last year. And I should just say that is so far. Of course, it could all change. These longer range charts are experimental, so perhaps it'll turn out to be a hot month. I wouldn't want to completely write it off, but certainly there's no sign of that on these longer range charts. At the moment, that's it for now. Hope you found the video interesting. Come back to our weekend forecast. Bye for now.